What's going on, guys? This past Friday, 3 out of 4 security guards were cleared of a manslaughter case that happened back in 2014. A 10-year case finally come to its resolution, or did it? Stay tuned! Wait, before we stay tuned, I need a drink. Let's go!
Was pepper sprayed and tackled, then kept down with a knee in his back by multiple security guards.
He said no.
He's out of there.
We're gonna keep doing that until they get out of this place. He's dead.
No, I told you they got to do that for looks.
He's been sitting there for 20 minutes. It's gonna be on the time.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, amazing week. I hope you guys started this week off in the right foot, and you guys are just freaking killing it. I've been following this case for about a few days. I was watching the live courtroom talks. I like courtroom stuff, and what grabbed my attention, because I had no knowledge of it, what grabbed my attention was they said 4 security guards, and you guys already know anything I do with security, I'm talking about it, good or bad. Mainly bad. But you know, I'm watching this. I'm watching this case. And I watch this thing, and I'm thinking to myself, why would they pick up this case 10 years later? It didn't make any sense to me. But as of last Friday, and Mr. John Sebring, Gavin King, and Aaron Mary were all found not guilty in a courtroom in Oakland County.
Find the defendant not guilty.
One by one, not guilty. The 3 former Northland Mall security guards were facing 15 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter in the death of 25-year-old Mackenzie Cochran more than a decade ago.
This is a freaking 15-year-old case that's been going on, felony case. And it originally started back in 2014 with the death of Mackenzie Cochran at the Northland Mall. And you guys can call it a coincidence if you guys want to. But this case was picked up back in 2021, just shy of the whole George Floyd incident. And I have, you know, I got to be careful with my words because every time I say George Floyd, you know, YouTube wants to block me. So I was like, okay, can't say that name. Appearance is a bad word for YouTube. Very sensitive. We'll just call him GF. I don't know. Yeah, last time I did a case on a security guard company at a hotel, I said George Floyd. And dude, they like left me and they said, "Hey, you got to be 18 to see this." I'm like, "What? Get out of here." So that's what they did. So, you know, I'm going to run with it. So for those of you guys that are very unaware of this whole this incident or this case, if you guys work the private sector, this should probably be some good news for you guys to hear if you guys are listening. You know, it should provide an education on kind of where we're going when it comes to private security and what the things that we should be doing, the things that we shouldn't be doing. You know, the list goes on, and this is a trainable and a learnable case. For those of you guys who don't know. And this case happened back in January 28th of 2014. This guy, Cochran, was reportedly telling an owner of a jewelry store inside the Northland Mall that he wanted to kill someone. Okay? And you know what I tell you guys? I say this all the time, and I haven't said it lately, but sticks and stones. Okay? It's all words. And you know, the jewelry owner calls security and says, "Hey, I need you guys to respond. I need some security assistance. Some guys going around, flailing his arms and saying he's going to kill somebody." All right. And the security started to show up, and as soon as security started to advance, Cochran started to display acts of aggression. By clenching his fist as security was walking up to him. So obviously, when I mean clenching the fist, you guys ever see somebody and you know they're going to take flight? You know, they got their hands to the side and they're just squeezing their hands like they're about to freaking grab this world and just, like freaking Thor, Thanos. Just kidding. But due to the acts of aggression from Cochran, something that he was displaying, that prompted the security guard to administer pepper spray. Okay. And right after that, they didn't give it any time. They just said, all right, we're going to detain the guy. And so 2 other guards showed up and they detained Cochran, and additional security guards responded in attempts to restrain Cochran. All right. Now, and before I get on here, let me go back and look. I just did a podcast. I didn't get a whole lot of views because I kept saying the GF word. And it was on, let me see here. YouTube really got me on that one. They would not allow me to, they wouldn't allow me to post it, for whatever reason. So if you guys see it, it's a good, I think it's a good read or listen, but unfortunately, YouTube was kind of, Devontae Mitchell inside of at the mill. I think it was in Milwaukee. It was in Milwaukee. Okay. So if you guys, I'll post a link there if you guys want to read and watch it. This is a similar case almost, where the, Devontae Mitchell there was an incident where he was also face down and pinned on the ground, and was stating he couldn't breathe, and was held down by 4 security guards, I believe. And obviously the family wants the security company to be held accountable for it. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit, but I'll continue on this case here. So obviously they had Mr. Cochran pinned down. It took him, I don't know, freaking 5 security guards to get this guy pinned down on the ground face front. And obviously Cochran was face down for a duration of the detainment. It looks like they had him down for 12 minutes. If I'm just kind of guesstimating, I believe it was 12 minutes they had him pinned down on his face front. Now obviously, Cochran was expending a lot of energy, stating that he couldn't breathe. And it's a very, very similar response that we've been used to hearing lately. I can't breathe. And that would come down from the George Floyd thing. Okay. Now, the guys, remember the whole I can't breathe thing. It's gonna be the reason why prosecutors decided to pick up this case. Now, once they had Cochran out after 11 minutes, okay, security guards finally had Cochran in handcuffs. And by the time they got him in, at that moment when they put him in handcuffs, he was already unresponsive. Okay, and no immediate first aid was administered during the detainment. No life-saving actions were taken. After they waited for EMS to arrive because he was unresponsive. And by the time they arrived, he was already pronounced dead shortly after.
I told you they got to do that for looks.
And several months later, following the death of Cochran, the Oakland prosecutor Jessica Cooper declined to bring criminal charges against the security guards involved. He stated that, hey, it looks good to me. Okay, but in the early 2000s, months after the death of George Floyd, the Cochran's family wanted the prosecutors to take another look at it. Now, obviously, there was some new changes in the staffing. They had a new police chief there, and they figured like, hey, you know what? Maybe we can do this again. We can try this again and get them to take a second look at it. So they take a second look at it, and the prosecutors that saw this case saw it as a slam dunk. And figured this is a slam dunk case. It's slam dunk. We're gonna get these security guards, and we're going to get them to pay. Now, the fourth security guard, who was Lucius Hamilton, pled guilty. The guy's a sucker, right? He gave up too soon. Earlier this month, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of manslaughter. And he probably had this thing weighing in over his head for such a long time. He was probably just tired of it and just gave up, right? Whatever. It's like, I can't, whatever. I'm sick of it. The initial guard that made contact with the video I showed, where he's pepper spraying Mr. Cochran, he died in 2017 for any unknown reasons, and we have to ask ourselves, why was this case, after 10 years, why was it picked back up? Like, why are we wasting our time? Why is that state wasting their tax dollars on a 10-year-old case? Well, I believe that it was politically motivated. Okay? They took the death of, gosh dang it, I want to say it, but I'm scared, of George Floyd, and said, hey, the cop got arrested. Three cops got arrested. This is a slam dunk case. Let's take it. That's why they picked the case back up. They figured there's no better time than right now to go back and re-look at this case and try them. And try to get a conviction. And, although the prosecutors did not allege that race was a factor in the Cochran's death, but I believe it was. Unarmed black man can't breathe. Dunk. The slam dunk case. That seems to be the magic words, the key words for prosecutors. Unarmed, black. I can't breathe. And they run with it. Everyone's been running with it. That's been the new thing. I can't breathe. I'm black. I'm unarmed. I'm unarmed, guys. And I'm black. But I also threatened to kill everybody or kill someone. He didn't say how I was going to do it, though. And so I believe that this was politically motivated. They also stated that the guards were accused of using excessive force by restraining Cochran while he lay face down. And it was actually 15 minutes. Wow, I was a few minutes shy. And a minute being face down, pinned down, and a bunch of dudes are on you. It could take a lot out of somebody. Now we have to go back and look at some of the takeaways from this incident. When we go back to private security, go back to the private sector, what do we think that the officers could have done right? Or did they do everything that they should have done? Okay. And I get it. A lot of security guards out there that just first start, they work on these posts, they work on in these locations, and they have very little to no contact with the public. Okay. So I get it. Sometimes they feel a little inadequate. They don't feel important. They feel like they're just there wasting time. And that's why you see guards sleeping. That's why you see guards just, doing the most on posts, passing the Dutchie to the left-hand side. I get it. Whatever. Actually, I don't get it. But so a lot of guards want to feel important. They want to feel like they did something for the day. They want to go home and tell their wife, honey, guess what? I'm finally a man now. I detained somebody. And a lot of security guards they're just itching for a little action. They want something to happen. They're ready. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I've been watching all 32 seasons of Cops. Why do I know that? I don't know. They want to watch 32 seasons of Cops. And they said, out of all these 32 seasons, something's going to happen for me in the private sector as I'm working in this dirt lot. Something's gonna happen. And that's what I believe that the security guards were looking for, because they didn't have a whole lot of action in the Northland Mall, and they finally got a call for service where it actually meant something, and they said, this is my moment. It's my moment, and I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna get the guy, I'm gonna walk up towards him, I'm gonna get him a little aggressive, let him looks good on camera. I'm gonna pepper spray him and say, stop, don't do that. And then after that, I'm gonna have two of my guys detain him, and we're gonna put him face front, because we have no training. The only thing the training that we've seen has been on cops, and this is gonna be all that we know. When someone is screaming, I cannot breathe, it is your opportunity and your time to reposition that person. Okay? We don't need to sit there and lay on someone face front. Okay? We don't know what type of medical conditions did he have. Was he suffering from mental illness? Was he did he have health conditions, pre-existing health conditions? Was he just not all the way there? What kind of things could have, did he have any visible health? Did he have visible health conditions? When we're in the private sector, this is what I tell everybody when you guys work private security. The great thing about your job is that you have to do nothing. You do not have to do anything. You don't have to detain someone if you don't want to. You don't have to. You have a choice. You're not branded by any laws stating that you have to act. You don't have to do anything. You can stand there, get on the radio, call the dispatch, hey, notify 911. This guy freaking 5150. We don't know what he's got. Did the security guards have enough time to be able to determine that he did not have a weapon? Absolutely. Pepper spraying only pisses people off. If you are on drugs, pepper spray is going to piss you off, because you're going to get very minimal effects of it. So I don't know how this guy responded to the pepper spray, but I'm going to say that he responded pretty well. Maybe a little pissed off, but for the most part, he didn't respond as quickly as a security guard wanted to. But a lot of times these are slow reactions. You have to wait. Security guards took no time. They said, no, gotta detain him. Some people are always looking for those hands-on situations. Always want to do something. Want to be hands-on. Handsy. We have to look at ourselves. We have to think about the situation that we may potentially involve ourselves in, and say, is this going to be a risk for me? Am I going to get hurt? Am I going to hurt them? Is this in the best interest of the company that I'm working for? Should I be doing this? Is this life and death? Or is it just a basic fight? Guy just pissed off at the world. And those occasions, we have to make decisions saying, you know what? We're going to have to call law enforcement. Okay? Obviously, things went completely south when the security guard decided to pepper spray Mr. Cochran. Okay? Actually, we all have personal bubbles. Security guard is getting ready to engage into this guy, and this guy is starting to ball his fists. I'm sorry. Maybe a couple of signs. Maybe we should back up a little bit and maybe try to talk. So that's the bad thing about private security, is that we don't know how to talk. Just action only. You don't think about the end result of it. And they weren't aware of they weren't aware of the risks. You know, it's not our job to, we are not the prosecutors. We're not the ones that impose punishment on people. It's not our job in the private sector. Our job is to, yeah, I get it. Our first primary function is to observe and report. Okay? Could we have maybe enticed this guy or encourage him to walk outside? Absolutely. I'm sorry. There's always magical words for people. Hey man, I just gonna need you to walk outside, man. You know? And if you got 3 people with you and you say I need you to walk outside, I'd say 8 out of 10 times you're gonna get compliance. You're gonna see a couple big dudes, they're gonna say, maybe I don't want to engage in this. At the end of the day, guys, safeness for all the persons that are occupying these shopping malls, these malls, anywhere we're providing service, it is at the end of the day, it's our job to provide a safe environment for people. Okay. Now, could that safe environment be just being present and using our words? Absolutely. Did we have to put this guy on the ground? Probably not. You know? So what does this case do at the end of the day? It's going to get dragged out for another, 1 to 3 years. Because, the family's pissed off. The family said we are devastated in learning the verdict. And so I believe that the family, now that they didn't get the justice that they wanted to, are going to go after these security guards, the security company, the mall, civilly. And guess what? That's going to be another 1 to 3 years that they're going to have to deal with this. So this case turns into almost a 20-year case. And the security guards were not thinking about the ramifications. What is going to be the trickling effect? Well, guess what? They got involved in a 10-year case manslaughter case. Okay, the case went their way. Great, but guess what? Now they got to have to deal with another couple years. It's like, and then you ask yourself, when does it freaking end? When I got shot back in 2018, I was a guard. Obviously I was a security guard, and obviously we don't get paid a whole lot, and so the gun that they stole from me, that was my bread and butter. That's what created work for me. So I ran out there to chase them to grab my gun back, knowing that they were all armed. And after all the case, everything was said and done. Well, everything. I spent, let's see, from 2018 to 2024, been fighting this case with these guys. I never got my gun back. I didn't get any of my guns back. I had 2 guns. One police department had, one the suspects had. Gone. $1,400, I think, in how much I lost in firearms. Plus a taser, another $600. Was it worth it? No. Did I retrieve all this stuff back? Yes. But all the emotions and all the going back and forth to court, losing sleep because I was working. I finally created a company. Now I'm still dealing with the ramifications of my actions on that day. So whose fault was it? It was my fault. Could I have just let it go? Yes. Was I thinking about the long end of it? No. So this case resonates with me because now after 10 years, they're still dealing with it. Now they got to deal with it for another 3 years. And you can see their sighs of relief. Oh my God. Absolutely. I'd feel the same way. it's at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the people that are occupying these places that we're providing securities for is safe. Is there other things that we could have done in the meantime? Absolutely. We could have notified law enforcement. I don't know about you guys, but I could not do that. I would not be able to afford this. This would cost me so much money. At the end of the day. And my insurance attorneys, the attorneys fighting for these guys, dude, for this long, the insurance company would drop me. It would go down as an incident. And when I pick up the new insurance, they're going to charge the hell out of me. So there's a lot of things that are trickling down from this. And, there's a lot of takeaways from this. And the takeaways from this is to learn this case and do the opposite. Okay? Is there ever going to be a time that you go hands-on at a job? Absolutely. Is there ever going to be a time where there is a time, like they always say, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and a place for incidents like this. This guy was clearly suffering from mental illness or drugs. One of the two. He felt like he wanted to kill somebody. People tell me they want to kill me every day. And you know what I say? Sticks and stones, son. I know where you work. Oh, no, duh. I'm here. I'm in uniform. Of course I work here. So, do we take some of these in as a active aggression? Do we take these threats lightly? Do we say, this guy's threatening my life? I should probably detain him. Probably not. I like to believe that there's other ways of handling things, and like I said, the security guards here did not handle the case, appropriately or like they should have, and this is going to continue going on for, like I said, another 3 years. Now they're going to go civil. They couldn't do the criminal, so they'll get the civil. I believe after the criminal case, they were going to hit him civilly. And now that this is all done, one of the security guards pled guilty. They got one guard out of it. So I don't know how that's going to work. I'm curious to see. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Was it, was this case politically motivated? Did the reason why they decided to pick this case up, was it because they were using the death of George Floyd as a piggyback ride? Let me piggyback on this guy. Black, unarmed. How? Great. Slam dunk case. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think. You guys got any questions or anything? You guys can follow me on Instagram at Nice Watch Patrol. Check us out. Go on to the link tree and find all wherever our other social medias are located at. This has been pretty real. I'm having a lot of fun with this, guys. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in. Also, we are going to be getting a defense attorney on a recent case, and she's going to weigh in on some stuff, and I'm pretty excited to hear her, because she's just crazy, man. But stay tuned for that. I'm also dealing with more unlicensed security companies, so I think we're gonna do another podcast on the underground industry part 2. Super excited, and trying to figure out what else. And I guess that's it. Anyway, you guys got any questions, concerns? You guys follow me. Hit me up. And you guys have a blessed and amazing week. I want you guys to love God. Wait, hold on, guys. I got an announcement.
Special announcement.
We're gonna change our name. We're gonna change the podcast name. I like the Watch podcast. It's great and everything, but I don't want it to connect it to my business. So we are going to change the podcast name. It's going to be called Night Crew. The Night Crew podcast. And this is going to be dedicated to nights, dedicated to private security, dedicated to people that work nights. It's going to be a whole lot of everything. And that way it's not too much just directed towards on the private sector. Anyone that works third shift, it sucks. And so you guys already know. But we're going to change that name. I don't know how soon I'm going to change it. I'm going to see how much it's going to cost me to change the name. It shouldn't be too hard, right? Just a quick name change. And I'm also looking to find a nice, cool way of a nice, cool emblem or stickers or whatever for it. But it's going to be called the Night Crew podcast. And like I said, I'm pretty excited about it. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, concerns, you can hit me up. Love God, love each other. Let's go change the world.
Been watching you, watching me.